Hi, this is Munson from Munson Music, and we're going to talk about how you can play a song called Long Tall Sally by Little Richard. And we end up cabling this on 3rd fret to kind of match the recording, where we start off on a D major chord. And then when you play D major, first finger goes to the G on the 2nd fret, second finger on the high E on the 2nd fret, and third finger on the B string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. Now through the song though, because of the bluesy nature, you may want to kind of dig on a D7 chord, where you can do the first finger on the B string 1st fret, second finger on the G string 2nd fret, and third finger on the high E 2nd fret. And if you strum the D string to the high E string, it sounds a D7 chord, and it sounds really nasty. Now on that part, you may want to kind of start off with just kind of a big down on the D, and then we do another down on the D, and then we do another down on the D, but then we go to a G major chord. And then when you play G major, first finger goes to the A on the 2nd fret, second finger on the low E string 3rd fret, and third finger on the high E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also dig on a G7 for the song. When we play G7, first finger goes to the high E on the 1st fret, second finger on the A string 2nd fret, and third finger on the low E string on the 3rd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G7 chord, and it sounds really, really nasty. And then from the G, we go back to our D chord, and then we do another D, but then we go to an A major chord. When we play A major, first finger goes to the D on the 2nd fret, second finger on the G on the 2nd fret, third finger on the B string on the 2nd fret. It's a big party on the 2nd fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an A major chord, and it sounds really happy. Now you may also want to think about lifting off the 2nd finger and making that an A7 chord, or you could readjust the fingers if you're slightly offended. Or you could take the pinky and go to the high E on the 3rd fret and kind of give that a little bit more bite. And then from the A, we go to a G chord, and then we go back to our D major chord, and we do another D. Now a lot of times with a song like this though, to make it more interesting, I like using something called a strum pattern. And one of my favorite strum patterns for a 4/4 like this is down, down, up, up, down, up. So we took the D and just tried that a lot. You'd have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. So we tried that through our verse chorus. We kind of have those big D hits, and then another D hit, and then another D hit, and then we kind of pick it up on our G major chord with our down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, A, down, up, G, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up, D, down, up, down, up. And we'd basically be repeating that and kind of varying it for the solo and the outro. But the weird part is to play along with Little Richard, instead of starting on a D chord, it's actually starting on an F major chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put the capo on 3rd fret, then now your D is really an F, and your G major is really a B flat major, and your A major is really a C major chord. But to take it from the very beginning, we got kind of that intro where we got kind of the D, D, and another D, and then we pick it up on our G chord, down, down, G, down, down, D, down, down, D, down, A, down, down, G, down, down, D, down, B, down, and then we end up repeating our verse chorus. Now you could kind of add basses to that pattern too, and this can be kind of cool, but on the D, you'd have the D string for your bass, on the G you'd have low E for the bass, and on the A chord you'd have the A string for the bass. So we could kind of try and add basses, and then we have our kind of D, D hit, D hit, and then our G chord with the bass, down, up, down, bass, down, up, down, D bass, down, up, down, B, D bass, A with A bass, G with low E bass, D with D bass, D bass. Now something else I'd think about adding to the song though, kind of going into that next verse, is blues licks. And a lot of times there's some really cool blues licks where you get, on the D for instance, you could put the first finger on the G string 2nd fret and kind of do a down up on the D and the G string together. That's kind of the first finger, and then take the 3rd finger and go to the 4th fret and do another down up. It's kind of like a little blues lick. I call that the D lick because we're kind of using the open D string with the G string. So it's kind of a 2-string strum thing. So I'm going 1, 1, 3, 3 with the left hand, and kind of working down, up, the 2nd fret, and do that same idea on the A and the D string, kind of get a little A and B lick on. So we can kind of throw those in. So we try that through our next verse chorus. We have kind of that D, 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 and then we pick it up on our G chord, G, but then we do the D licks, D licks, A licks, G low bass, D licks. And you could vary the strum pattern a lot of different ways actually. What can sound really cool too, a little variation, would be kind of a down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. Or you could add basses to that and make it a bass, up, down, up, down, up, bass, up, down, up, down, up. So we try kind of mixing it up a little bit with that idea through the solo. We'd have our D, D, around these chords too. That can be always kind of a cool thing to kind of add into. Feel free to kind of take this lesson and run with it any way you want to. And then after that sax solo, then we go back into our verse chorus. So back to our D, 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 and then our G. Got a G. And then from there, we go into kind of our outro part. And on our outro, it's kind of like a little variation, but at the very end, you'll hear this cool little hit where you could do an E flat major chord. One really easy way to play that is to kind of take the D shape, and if you slide it over one fret, then now you're kind of playing 4th fret on the G string, well, it would have been 4th fret, I never came in, and then on the high E, and then kind of the, oh wow, it's NBC, kind of over on, I'm really on the 6th and the 7th fret, so kind of 6, 6, 7, and that sounds an E flat major, and you can kind of slide it back into the D, or you could do kind of that D7 shape, and make it kind of almost like an E flat 7, and kind of slide that back into the D chord at the very end. So on that outro, you got kind of the D, kind of like our sax solo. It's kind of riding on the D's. And then got a G, G, D, A, G, and then kind of a big D, play, kind of at the very, very end. Or you might want to go crazy. And kind of do it, stop. Time kind of thing, make people clap. But that's the basics of how you can strum through Long Tall Sally by Little Richard. So good luck!